A very, very warm welcome, and I say super warm because I do know that some parts of SA is still being hit by a cold front. Most of you already know who I am, but for those of you that don't, I'm Aarti Singh, and I'm part of the graduate recruitment team at PWC. Today we have some amazing guests, and I know a very special audience joining us as well. It is indeed a privilege for us to host the Golden Key Society today, and we are insanely proud of each of you. We would actually love to hear from you as well, so please do pop us a message in the chat box and let us know who you are and where you are joining us from. Before I go on and on, make yourselves comfy, grab a good cup of coffee, and over to my partner in crime, Aisha.
Thanks, friend. Hi, everybody. As Arti mentioned, I'm Aisha Nakadin, also part of the National Grad team, and the other half of who will be hosting the chat with you guys today. Now, first of all, I know Arti's mentioned it, but I've got to mention it again. Can I just say what a massive, massive honor it is knowing that we get to host a webinar with the top 15% of the top achievers in the country. I mean, clicks all around, guys. Let's just take a moment to celebrate each and every one of you on your incredible achievements. Really, really well done. You have so much to be proud of, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that's, already proud of you. But I think, Arti, what I want to do maybe is select one or two of the guys and send my daughter for some lessons. Could we do that? Probably not, hey? No, I'm kidding. I won't do
We
that.
can try. We can
Or
try.
we could. I agree. So today we're really going to take the opportunity to pretty much introduce you guys to PWC in a much more intimate way. And what we mean by that is that we want to give you guys a really good overview of what we offer, what the programs entail, share some really cool things that we get up to here at PWC, and obviously also leave you guys with some knowledge about not only your future, but the future of work as well. So very, very excited to get stuck into it. I hope that you guys are as well. But before we get started, we are really hoping to have some time at the end of today's session to answer some of your questions. However, what we would like for you to do is to pose questions throughout the session. And as we go, we'll try to get through some of them. What you do need to do, however, is please use the Q&A function. Now, the chat function, what we would also like you guys to do, for those of you that are on the call already, please just put a bit of a message there. Let us know who you are. Let us know what universities are here so that we can shout out throughout the call for you guys as well. If your questions are not going to get answered, we will do our absolute best at the end of the call to get to more of them. And if all else fails, we'll obviously try and get in touch with you guys afterwards.
Definitely, Aisha. And I'm seeing people from Pretoria, oh, from Durban, my hometown, and UCT, UJ. Oh, wow, we have such a
Northwest.
wide variety of people here. That's amazing. Um, every organization is underpinned by values, and these are what we stand for and how we as employees live our professional lives at PwC. At the firm, it's no different, and our values are very much the Constitution. As we progress through the session, you are definitely going to pick up on some of these various values that our panelists live out daily. So, without any further delay, join me in welcoming our panel. Today, we are joined by Sikiswa Mtungwa, Khagelo Masimene, and Annika Fellows. Both Sikiswa and Khagelo are close colleagues who are also part of our graduate recruitment team. So you will hear me affectionately call them C and KG. Annika is also here from our New World New Skills team. But let's hear a little bit from them. C, let's start with you.
Thank you, ladies. Hi, everyone. So, Ash and Arti affectionately call me C, as they cannot pronounce my name, which is a norm, really.
Guilty.
My name is Tigizom Dongwa. However, you're more than welcome to call me C, as I do appreciate that my parents were rather too excited with the click. Indeed, I do share the same sentiments as Aish. It is an honor to be in your presence today. I have been with PwC for almost a year now, 10 months to be exact. and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I have 11 years experience in recruitment with 8 years people experience. I hail from Cape Town, which is something common between Aish, Art, and myself. I hope to be of great value to you this afternoon. KG, over to you.
Ah, see, now I'm feeling a bit left out since I'm not from Cape Town.
You're missing out.
We still love
So
you.
sorry.
Aish and Arti, I must say I'm extremely excited to be a part of the panel today. Engaging with students is a great passion of mine. That's why I've been in the graduate recruitment space for 12 years. Um, as
And
Arti
she
briefly
actually only looks 20. I mean, look at that face, guys. She literally looks
oh,
so young. It's very unfair. Can I just put it out there?
oh man, thanks Aish. I love compliments, you know that. So as Arti briefly said, my name is Gaugelo. However, I'm known as KG throughout the firm and most universities that I engage with. It's a name I have come to embrace, and actually I've come to love that name. So, but however, when I go to schools for career expos or presentation, then I become Mam KG or Dani KG. So this shows that as a mother of four, I definitely wear different hats for the different roles I play when it comes to my job. So something that I love to do outside of work, besides being a mother, is baking and jogging. I run marathons too, but only 10 kilometers, hey? And the last
Only.
marathon that I took, yep, only 10. But the last marathon I took part in was in February. I must say I miss those. So Annika, let's hear from you.
Thanks, KG. I think now's a good time, as I introduce myself, to let everyone know that I have no experience in recruitment. Well, that's other than the time when I was interviewed by PWC for a graduate position, and I actually told them in my interview that the reason I applied to PWC was because they were listed as a top employer on Google and that I liked the brand colors.
It
Clearly,
is
my
good though.
interviewing yeah, they are. Clearly, my interviewing skills, though, aren't that great, but I must have done something right, right? I made it through. So I obviously then joined PWC as a grad. I was a part of the Foundation for the Future program that Giza will tell you more about. I joined about 4 or 5 years ago now. My career started in East London, PWC, the branch there, and I'm now in Joburg. So look, guys, location flexibility, work hour flexibility, it's something that I think PwC does a lot better than a lot of other companies. So yeah, this year I started studying again, and hopefully I'll get my master's in the bag at the end of it. Through all this COVID and stuff, I guess it's nice, you know, you can just have more time because you're not going anywhere else on weekends. But
Not
when
much.
not much, yeah. When I'm not helping clients innovate their people space or working on my dissertation, I like to pretend to be good at DIY stuff. So my latest masterpiece is a macrame plant hanger, and you might see it here in the room if you look very carefully. But a fun fact, I was also a part of the Golden Key Society back in my university days, and this is really a cool experience for me, and I'm so honored to be able to give back in a different way now. But enough of me, I'm done.
Thank you so much, Annika. A macrame plant hanger. I'm not going to pretend I know absolutely anything about what that is, but that's on you. So good. I'm glad you have a macrame hanger. But before we actually move on into, you know, the graduate programs, I want to take this as an opportunity to brag a little bit. So PwC, you know, seeing that you've been talking about the brand colors, etc., PwC have actually been voted the South Africa Graduate Employers Association Employer of Choice once again this year. We tend to win it every year, but I'm not bragging or anything like that. And what's really, really cool is that this is actually voted by students across industries, across companies, etc. So knowing that, you know, there are students that actually see us who don't work for the firm as an aspirational employer of choice, we find absolutely incredible. So yeah, you guys are welcome to look that up. And the other thing as well, there's actually been 3 of our team members that have been noted as, well, 3 of the most influential grad recruiters across South Africa. So some more clicks for us. Anyway, but now we are going to move on to what we are actually here to do today, and that's to talk to you guys a little bit more about the opportunities at PWC. Now, most students have the tendency to think that PWC only hires audit trainees. Well, today we get to smash that perception just a little bit, but truth be told, it is the largest portion of trainees that we take on every single year. So, I mean, in our Joburg office, it goes up to 300, Cape Town, it goes up to 150, and then obviously in the smaller regions as well, so the numbers are quite big. Now, what's really cool is that we, of course, recruit across different tiers. So let's say students are in their first year and they're doing BAc LLB at Stellenbosch University, for example, and they're starting their articles in 2025. You already at this point could apply for a training contract with PWC. Also with the audit program, you could apply for, like I said earlier, a training contract, a bursary, as well as VAC work with PWC. For a lot of students, they prefer to do VAC work before they actually sign with the firm, and it's, you know, it's something that we encourage on our side as well. Now, just a quick side note on this one, we have quite the reputation out there for world-class training and having some of the best technology tools to enable our trainees, you know, to quickly upskill themselves, you know, get comfortable with blockchain, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, which will come up a little bit later, and so forth. And this is because we want our CAs to become of the best CAs, not only in South Africa, but also in the world. So from a training perspective, we ensure that our training is world class, right? Now, with this, depending on the office that you are assigned to, your experience will differ from an industry perspective. So for some of the offices, you will need to select an industry. In others, it's a choice, let's say, between financial services and everything that isn't financial services. And then, of course, you get the smaller offices where you don't necessarily get a choice. You get exposure to, or let's say, a majority of the clients that that particular office has. However, no matter which office you're in, the quality of the training and the quality of the exposure is the same. So it really just depends on where your career is going and kind of where you want to take it. Now, another thing that we must talk about is the opportunities to stay on in the firm is, of course, what we hope you will do or what you want to do. But a lot of the trainees get offered by clients. A lot of the trainees also move on into, let's say, our tax division, our advisory division, our deals division as well. And whichever way our trainees decide to go, what's important is that we 100% support that. We know that the audit life is obviously not for everybody. And then, of course, last but not least, the best part of it all and the frequently asked question is about secondment opportunities in your last year of articles. And with PwC being one of the largest audit firms on the globe, just going to repeat, on the globe, we of course offer this to our students as well. Okay, so there's a lot more information about the audit world, about the trainee contracts, about a lot of the things, but we won't have the time to get into all of that today. So definitely feel free to reach out to us if you have any more questions, whether that be on LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you feel is most appropriate. Okay. And then just one more thing about sort of accountants. Now, we know that CAs, or not everybody wants to go the CA route. So the other type of, I would say, accounting program that we offer in a few of our offices across the country is a SIPA program. That's the South African Institute of Professional Accountants. Also a 3-year program where at the end of it, you qualify as a professional accountant. You know, for you guys that are studying, let's say, management accounting, financial management, and so forth. But again, before I take up too much of the time that we're allowed to have, let me pass the baton to KG to tell you guys a little bit more about some of the programs that she's actually also responsible for.
Yes, thanks, Aish. So even though I am responsible for the recruitment, the nice part is I continuously learn from my job as well. So that brings me joy because I can never say my job is boring or monotonous. So joining PWC in 2017, I really had no idea what risk assurance is. It was a big learning curve, and I must say I have grown as a person due to the continuous learning and from engaging with the students as well, the graduates that apply to us. So risk assurance, also known as RAS, is the big umbrella which under it has data analytics, cybersecurity, internal audit, IT audit, financial services risk and regulations, and sustainability and climate change. The RAS graduate programs are 3 years long, giving you a solid foundation to your career path. In terms of qualifications for the RAS graduate programs, we look at things like, or various degrees, honors degrees, ranging from internal audit, the various IT degrees, engineering, economics, environmental sciences, and a whole lot more. In the 3 years, you will gain functional and industry insight, get to work with large multifunctional companies, and help clients solve important problems. The RES programs are available in our Cape Town, Durban, and Waterfall offices, though some of the graduate programs are limited in some of those offices. But please do refer to our website for more information on this. So in the 3 years, the firm also encourages you to do certifications and write the necessary exams that are applicable to your role in particular. And the amazing part is that the firm will pay for those, eh?
Ooh, hashtag bonus. Oh, I think it's a bonus.
Yeah, indeed it is, Aish. I don't believe it can be done anywhere else. I might be wrong, but it is a great bonus. At the end of the graduate programs, though, also, we encourage you to apply for the available permanent positions that get advertised. You will not be limited to the current office, in other words, where you are currently doing your graduate program. You can apply to any of the PWC offices. See, what do you have to share with our grads?
Thanks, KG. So I'm responsible for advisory. Advisory is a business unit that provides professional services to clients across different industries. Within advisory, we've got our deals program, also known as EDGE, strategy and which is a strategy house, and consulting, which is foundation for the future. Foundation for the Future program is an 18-month program which you get to rotate within 3 families called operations transformation, front office transformation, corporate function transformation. Preferably, we are looking for honors to master's degree in economics, engineering, financial management, IT, accounting, investment management, mathematics, and statistics, which are shared disciplines within advisory. Over and above these, though, Foundation for the Future also looks at industrial psychology, labor law, and risk management. 6 months prior to the conclusion of your 18 months, you will be given an opportunity to apply for any available vacant positions, depending on the business needs. Strategy Ann is a program that is matched by the likes of Bain and Company and McKinsey and Company.
And some other firms that we will not mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we will not.
So it's a permanent position with a 2-year grad program. In this program, we assess your thinking style, strategic thinking, thus being your ability to think outside of the box. And last but not least, we've got the EDGE program. It is a permanent position with a 4-year grad program. You are placed in a division depending on your discipline of study, skill sets, and your interview. During your 4 years, you will be given an opportunity to obtain a professional qualification, which we pay for, in either CIMA or CFA. Within 9 months of your commencement, you will attend training in Spain, thus in the absence of the travel bans. How awesome is that?
That's really awesome. I feel like I should have got onto the EDGE program now. I haven't been to Spain.
You should. Maybe I should too.
Maybe.
In conclusion, this is basically the comprehensive offer of advisory. There is a lot more on our website. You're also welcome to contact me via LinkedIn, where we can chat a bit more. But one last point, we are still accepting applications for EDGE in the disciplines of finance, accounting, economics, mathematics, and statistics. And I will be so delighted to see your applications there. Over to you, Art.
Thanks, C. I'm sure everyone on this call is feeling a little bit spoiled for choice after hearing all of that. And at the risk of sounding like a very mock advert, wait, there's more. PWC also has a great tax graduate program. Our site program is offered at the Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, and Johannesburg offices. This program is 3 years long, and during that time, you actually get an opportunity to gain exposure and experience across all our various tax departments. Hopefully, by then, one of you can help me with my e-filing.
Oh,
Just
yes.
kidding. The program's aim is really to introduce you to the many different options you have when you do become a practitioner. We ideally look for students who have completed an honors or a master's degree in tax, or if you're currently pursuing a master's, that's great as well. Of course, we would also consider you if you have a tax law background or a commercial law background.
Fantastic. You know what, Artie, you mentioned e-filing. When I get that SMS, guys, and I promise you, when you get to the professional life, or let's call it the adult life, if I could put it that way, and you get that SMS or that email for e-filing, you just want to pass out. That's how I feel all the time, because I'm like, oh, more admin. But
She's
anyway.
totally stressed out, guys, when she sees that.
I am, yeah. But just before we move on to the next topic, which I'm pretty much jumping out of my skin about, but anyway, and also feeling a little bit like Oprah Artie with all these opportunities. You know, you get an opportunity, you get a job, you get it. Anyway, let me not go on too much about that. The one last program that I would like to bring to your guys' attention is our ARQ graduate program. Now, what ARQ stands for is our Actuarial, Risk, and Quants division. So, you know, we're actuaries, mathematicians, quant, you know, if you've studied, let's say if you studied actuarial science, financial risk management, quantitative management analysis, etc., this would be the type of division that would suit you. This particular program, however, is only offered in our Waterfall, which is obviously in Joburg, and then our Cape Town office as well. It is a 3-year program, and for those of you that are studying actuarial science, at the end of it, you do qualify as an actuary. Of course, if that's what you decide to do, you know, you'll get the write the necessary exams. We have policies in place for leave, study leave, exam leave, etc. And then, of course, for the guys that are, you know, looking more towards the risk and quants program, that's something that you could apply for as well. At the end of the 3 years, should you wish to stay on with PWC, the opportunity is definitely there as well. You move from your grad program either into a senior associate level or a manager level, depending on the positions that are available. Okay. Now, you guys have heard from the ladies where the programs are offered, but not everyone is necessarily wanting the big office life and big city lights and, you know, would prefer something a little bit smaller. What I would recommend, just so that you guys can get a bigger overview or a better picture in terms of what PWC offers, but not only as a firm, these specific offices. So as you're doing your research, you'll definitely come across programs that are offered in the different offices. Let's say, for example, Bloemfontein, okay? The Bloemfontein, you'll see they offer the audit trainee program, they offer internal audit, they offer the cyber program as well, but not necessarily deals and edge and all of that. So have a look on the website so that you can get more information around the opportunities that are available across the country. All right. Whew, that was a bit of a mouthful and a lot of information, but we're always keen to engage with you guys even after this if you do have any more questions. But like I said, we now get into the fun stuff, the part I can downright tell you guys I am super, super excited about. It's pretty new to the firm. It's exciting. It gives us skills that we never knew we needed. So we're very, very excited. Also, I mean, as you all know, so much has changed this year with Auntie Rona that decided to visit. And the truth is that we are living in a very fast-paced world where traction, transition, adaptability, different kinds of skills are key to become successful, in this day and age, if I could put it that way. And as you know, here to enlighten us and tell us a little bit more about the campaign is Annika Fellows. Annika, over to you. I'm ready to learn.
Thanks, Aisha. So before I start though, I just want to hear from everyone on this call. I want to do a little bit of a poll. So you might have seen I typed into the question box, Menti, so please just log on to www.menti.com on whichever device you are. And then I would like you to input that code. And you can hear that I'm focusing on many things at once here because I'm trying to share my screen. Let's see. Can we see my screen?
We can definitely see your screen on this side. Could we have some students maybe in the chat function just let us know whether you can see Annika's screen? And just to repeat, it's www.menti.com.
So
okay.
yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, Aisha. So I've put that in the chat box, and then once you get onto the website, will you please just put in the code that I also put into the chat box? It is 543174. Oh, we've already got some voters. So what skills do you think you need to be successful, when you go into the working world? And what have you learned? What have you heard about are important skills to have? You can choose up to, so there's 7, you can choose up to 3 options. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, and then we can just pop these answers on here.
Wow, that's quick responses. Loving it.
Yeah.
I'm actually
And
surprised
I like
with the responses.
Communication skills. Say Golden Key members, I love you. Can I just say that? Because
Me
I'm just looking
too.
at what you guys are choosing, in my heart is singing a lullaby now.
Sending you virtual hugs, guys.
Yeah.
Virtual hugs.
Awesome source. So it looks like programming, analytics, and communication. Oh, and EQ are also receiving quite a lot. No one's saying media and web design, guys. I'm joking. I'm not swaying any votes here. But I think we have a pretty good idea of what's on your mind in terms of skills that we need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we think are the skills that you need.
Perfect. And just before you get started, Annika, again, you guys, thank you so much for that. And yeah, there's a lot of similar responses. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I think, let me not give anything away. Okay, let me just go into it. So obviously, I'm not here to tell you about how amazing the Foundation for the Future program is. The fact that I'm still here at PWC after almost 5 years should attest to that. But I want to really talk to you about where the program got me. So currently, I'm on a project called the New World New Skills Project. It's a global project actually in PWC, and it's led by PWC's global chairman, who sits in the US, Bob Moritz. Google him, it's a true story. But the New World New Skills initiative was launched in October last year. So our South African mission then, in our wing, is to create a national movement on upskilling. So I think we can all agree, there's so many different views on what skills are needed, but also what skills do we have as a nation and what skills do we actually need to flourish. So this project actually really started internally in PwC, where our leadership realized that even in PwC, we had to upskill our employees. There was just a really big skills gap in terms of what we had, what our clients were looking for, and what experts within our company have said what should be or what are going to be needed skills in the future. So we are all about the little triangle. If we go to the next slide. Okay, so we have this triangle, and within that are our 3 C's. Okay, so first of all, it's call to action, where we talk about upskilling. We bring awareness to people from all walks of life about the skills needs in South Africa. So if you Google New World new skills, you'll see lots about the call to action piece, because that's all about, you know, creating the awareness, getting the word out there. Then, of course, we have to make some sort of money, right? We kind of rely on revenue in flow in a company like
100%.
Yeah. So that is really our commercialize C, where we talk about, or not talk about, where we create capabilities internally based on what we did on our upskilling journey, and then we take those to clients to help them in their learning journeys to really succeed in their endeavors. Then the last C is contribute. So that's where we really build our trust. So PwC's purpose, accompanied with the values that was mentioned earlier, is to build trust in society. And I think the contribute C speaks so well to that. So currently we have a number of CSR projects running, including initiatives like Skilled for the Future, CEO in the Making, TVET Business Experience programs. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on those, but if you do have any questions on them, please let us know. I personally would love to share some information on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you know what the skills are that we are advocating for.
I think we all want to know that, Annika.
Yeah, very excited about that. What are those skills? Please.
Okay, cool. So I've just been talking now and talking. No one cares. They want to get to the skills. What do I need to know? Okay, so with advancements in things like technologies, you know, like artificial intelligence, drones, robotics, machine learning, the Internet of Things, blah, 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 all those cool things. I think we might become a little bit wary, a little bit scared that our roles might become redundant, and really begin to ask ourselves the question, what is our role in the workplace of the future then? But let me assure you, there will always be room for humans.
Oh, can I just say hallelujah to that? Because trying to explain to my daughter that she will get a job because robots won't be doing it is quite difficult.
Bring it to me, Aisha. Bring it to me. I'll try to convince her.
Great.
Okay. So the future skills and competencies for 2030 that you see on this slide is really the latest version that we have right now of future skills needed. So there's constant research being done to assess how humans can contribute and what their roles are in the jobs of the future. So if you want to be employable at PwC or actually wherever, now's the time to take notes. Okay.
Take notes, guys. I'm going to stop talking to Annika. Sorry, I'm going to put myself on mute.
No. It's fine. Interrupt me. Cool. Let's get started. So the first one there is critical thinking. Now, this includes things like inductive, deductive reasoning, analyzing, and really making decisions based on logic. So the workplace, I think, yeah, this is the one. The workplace really criticizes graduates the most on this skill. So, well, actually the absence of this skill in graduates. So this is your heads up. This is your opportunity to take ownership and really take responsibility for upskilling yourself and developing especially critical thinking for yourself. And perhaps later I can show you a little bit about how. Not too much detail though. But the second one, if we go on to the creative side of things, so the technologies that I mentioned earlier and things like AI, it's not likely to replace jobs that require creativity. So of course, tech is cool for many things. Innovation is not one of those things yet. So we need we need people who are forward thinking, who can solve problems creatively and really think on their feet and think out the box, so that those new technologies and the products that we're building can stem from that. Okay, so the next one, learning to learn. Now, I don't even know what that means if I say it like that, but that's really a focus on lifelong learning. So it means being aware of your own responses and your own thought processes in learning, and identifying when to learn what. So, like I said, it fosters lifelong learning when you are in a situation and you can identify what you don't know in that specific situation. Whether you are a graduate, whether you have been with the company or in your career for 20 years, this is something that each person will need to do, to learn, to relearn, to unlearn, and take yourself forward in that kind of way. So I did see there was a question in the Q&A regarding, I think it was an architect that said, I'm an architect, but I would like to change my career without doing any formal qualification. And let me tell you, in the careers that we see today, and even within PWC, that is such a big thing that's happening. Where, like was mentioned earlier with our audit training programs, some of those people don't actually stay in audit. They go into things like tax and deals and change their scenery, for lack of a better word. And that's just because they learn to learn. They understand what's required from a job in a specific time, and they do what needs to be done to get there. Okay, and I think adaptability talks very nicely to that as well, is being able to cope with uncertainty, but also to thrive in it. Again, this is where we very much beat the machines and the robots, because I'm pretty sure they don't know how to respond to uncertainty. And then the next one, empathy, self-efficacy. Yeah.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Robots, you can't say to the robot, would you mind checking up on that person to see if they're being unethical? I don't think you can program a robot to do that.
No, not yet anyway.
Yeah,
So
well,
until that happens, we need to adapt. Thanks, Aisha. Yeah, so these social skills, and look, listen to this one and keep this one in mind if your goal in life is to earn status and grow rich. But actually also just if you think of yourself as a socially in tune person. So empathy and these self-efficacy, responsibility, and collaboration, these social and emotional skills have actually been found to directly impact income and career success.
Annika, again, so happy you've brought this up. I can assure you guys, for the audience that's on the call, between myself, RTC, and KG, I would say out of 10 interviews, in about 8 of them, this is a question we get all the time. You know, what are the skills that I need? And with empathy being one of the biggest ones, I'm really just so happy that you've covered this, because it does give students a really good indication of what we look for.
Awesome sauce. Okay, so if we go on to, this is the 6th one, fusion skills. Now it has nothing to do with Simply Asia, but this one is about fusing or combining different skills. So these are the skills of entrepreneurship, creativity, and technicality to adapt and really to enable smooth shifts from and to new jobs as they emerge. So that combination really of learning to learn and the fusion of thinking about what can I do that perhaps doesn't exist anymore, that's where this one comes in. And actually funny, well, perhaps not so funny story, just story. There's actually someone, a colleague, who's created a position within the company because she saw a gap and no one was filling it. And she was like, okay, guys, this is my new job. I'm doing this now. And it wasn't an act of defiance or something. It was really innovative thinking and realizing that there's a need somewhere. So she decided to fill it. And that's all thanks to those fusion skills.
Fantastic.
And then if we go to global competence, it speaks to open-mindedness, willingness to learn about things and people that are different from your norm. So I'm currently on a project where we are one team, literally one team. We interact every single day. We work together. We understand one another. But we have members from India. We have members from Johannesburg. We have people in Cape Town, even Italy. And we all have different skill sets, but we also have different backgrounds. And we work together, and that's just how we have to do it. So for us all to have that understanding of diversity is so important. And the global village is a thing. We see it more and more. It's up to us now to equip ourselves with the cultural knowledge, but also linguistic skills and diversity to do well in this new world. And then the last one is practical and physical skills. So we might think, this is really about being strong, but it's not just about having strength and manual dexterity. It's also about organizing your day in a way that makes sense. Organizing your workspace, for example. It's also just things like typing questions in the Q&A box, the navigating to where you need to be, and the finger movement. So those are our skills. Please take them in, and I'm not going to say anything actually further of that. Let's go to the next one. Cool. So guys, if you thought that was a little bit overwhelming, read this heading and take a deep breath. You've got this. So remember when I said PWC's purpose is to build trust in society and solve important problems. So we really do take things like that seriously. And in light of this, we want to contribute to government's efforts in supporting continued learning for students and learners during and actually post-lockdown and COVID. So what we did, we identified a gap in psycho-emotional support and skills to process truly just this insane amount of content that we have online. So we launched the You've Got This campaign, and that includes a series of content pieces, and I'm not sure how much of it you can see here, but it's available online on PWC's website, but also just if you type in on Google, You've Got This, to help students manage the uncertainty that there is around their academic year and also their plans for the future. So you'll see a whole bunch of things on that website that we have. We have blog posts, like it is here, so CVs, placemats on things like CV writing, there's advice on online learning, and even just guidance to take care of yourself and your finances in whatever financial situation. So this is really aimed at students. So when I say finances, it's not necessarily going to tell you about how to invest your millions. It's really talking to students. So I would really advise you go on there. And addition to all this, in the You've Got This campaign, it's not on here, but I might just post the code for you. It's a secret code in the chat box. We have a digital fitness assessment app. So PWC internally, we use it, and we've decided now with COVID to make it free for I think about a year. So you can actually just go to your app store on your phone and you can download digital fitness assessment or search for that, and it'll be this red and white and black little thingy that looks like a technology weird image, you can download that and really kickstart your digital journey. It'll teach you a little bit about some of the skills that I've shared with you, but also some of our technologies that are available. So I think, that's all from me. But next person, I think it's Aisha. If you carry on so long, I'm going to go look for that code and then I'll post it into the chat box quickly.
Fantastic. Okay, guys. So first of all, Annika, thank you so much. That was a lot of information, and I think our sort of interview training in just a couple of minutes. So thank you very, very much, you guys. I hope you took notes. I hope you were listening, because that was some really, really good content, and it will help you nail some interviews. Trust me.
And she's giving out some trade secrets, Aish.
Yeah, man, like the code. I love it. I love that though. So just a reminder, you guys, please do check the chat for that code. If it doesn't work, again, let the Golden Key Society know, and we'll see what we can do for you guys. Okay. All right, so now we've really spoken a lot about the programs, how awesome they are. Well, at least how awesome we think they are, or we believe they are. We have taken it a step further though, and not just wanting to speak to you guys from our perspective. So we've actually checked in with a couple of employees, mainly first years. I think we have 1 or 2 managers in there as well, but just really checking on how their experience has been. Oh, there we go. And we asked them some sort of random questions. I don't know if you guys need glasses, because somebody like myself, I do. But these are just some of the responses that they've come up with. Artie, let's maybe have a look at what they said.
Oh my God, Ash, it's Julian Pillay.
Oh,
Guys, I have to tell you, he is one of our go-to people, and he always assists us with recruitment initiatives, partially because Aisha forces him to. But it's actually awesome to see how much he's grown and the relationships that he's built over the years. And I can assure you that this is very true. Even though Julian mentioned it, Aisha and I, despite being colleagues, we're also really good friends some of the time.
You know what, guys?
And
Sometimes I force her to be my bestie. She doesn't like it, but I think it's totally okay, actually.
I love that I have witnesses to this conversation, Aisha.
Yeah.
And I see Vicky there as well. I remember interviewing her last year, and now she acknowledges and finds the care value so important. So it really does demonstrate that it doesn't matter which department or which grad program you join. The PWC values are just evident everywhere. KG,
Yeah.
I think you may have been involved in Lorato's interview process, and she's loving it, and she loves solving client problems. So that's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, RT, I've got a soft spot for her.
Oh.
She continues to be my nana, that one. So talking about solving problems or important problems, with technology and the internet being so easily available to most people, engaging with our students comes with I can say a bit of challenges for us as recruiters, because we are never really 100% sure which mode of engagement is most preferable to you or to them. So having you guys today will definitely assist us. Please do keep in mind though that I'm a BBT, born before technology. I mean, I still prefer to either make a phone call or SMS, and that is not Ayoba.
Oh, KG, does the youth still say that?
They do.
It's a confirmation of the BBT.
Yes, please.
I choose to, guys, I'm going to ignore all of you, hey? So please, guys, by means of voting on the live poll, please tell us and assist us. Tell us what is your most preferred way to engage with you. Help the older generation here, or help me, because I'm a BBT. So there are going to be 4 options for you to choose from, but you must choose one that is most preferred to you.
Thanks, KG. And then, guys, just another reminder, it is www.menti.com, and you have to use the code 543174. You will see that on the screen now as well. In the interest of time, we're going to give you guys about, let's say, 2 minutes or so to just quickly give us some of your your input. Ooh, KG, I see we're going to be happy
Sure.
here, but I'm just going to be
Yep.
quiet about it.
The BBTs are happy.
I'm
The
so
baby
happy to
is
see
happy.
this. This is really exciting for me.
And guys,
KG,
what
we're
we're
gonna start
excited
a
about
hashtag. We're gonna start a hashtag called
is that
BBT.
BBT. Yeah. And guys, the reason we're saying we're so happy is that we see direct emails from your university is so still something that's actually a thing. Us BBTs, oh, actually I'm still youth. I was until Monday, but that's okay. We like emails. You know, the social media thing, not for all of us, eh?
Yeah, it can be a
Fantastic.
bit tricky.
Okay. Yeah, great. Okay, fantastic. Well, it definitely looks like we have a bit of a winner over there with the direct mailers. Again, you guys very, very much for sharing this with us. It definitely helps us in terms of engaging with you. I mean, we sometimes think to ourselves, okay, we got to get on like Snapchat, or we got to get more interactive on Instagram, which obviously helps as well. But at the same time, direct emailers are still a thing, and I think it's going to be for a while. But anyway, moving along swiftly. On this slide, what we really want to talk about is how do you apply to PWC? Now, we know that, you get some websites, you just open it up and then you get the careers page. Other websites, there is a little bit of a navigation, if I could put it that way. First things first is you've obviously got to go and search the website. So you're going to go to www.pwc.co.za/students. You'll see that on the screen here on the left-hand side at the top. And then once you've sort of, clicked on that and you get to the page, the most important, or I would say first thing that you have to do would be to scroll down until you get to the section that says register profile and apply online. The little red and white block that you see over there. That's the first thing you have to do. Otherwise, you will not see the opportunities that are actually there. And then once you've clicked on that, the programs will then come up. So again, on the left-hand side, you'll see the advisory graduate programs, assurance graduate programs, current learner opportunities, etc. This is basically where you will then go and find the position that you are keen on applying for, okay? Something just very important that we do want to bring up with you guys, and we definitely saw it in the chat as well, is that for a number of our programs, definitely not for all of them, but for a number of the programs, we have reached our numbers, so we've concluded our processes for that already. However, what's really, really exciting and pretty much a first for us at the, well, not really a first, but something new, is that we are going to be advertising for our 2022 graduate programs by August this year. So for you guys that are, let's say, in your final year going into honors, or for you guys that are in your penultimate year going into final year next year, there will be graduate programs already this year that you could apply for, and you'll only start in 2022. Okay, so please keep an eye out for that on the site as well, and also, like I said, get in touch with us. Now, guys, I hope you're ready because we get into the juicy stuff, the questions that came from the audience. Okay. Oh, wow. I see that some of them have really, really been answered. Annika, I remember a question. I don't know if you answered it yet, but I really do want you to answer it for the rest of the group. And that was around how does one develop their critical skills? In literally like 1.5 to 2 minutes, what would you say?
Awesome. So I did reply to that, but for everyone else in the call, I think, critical thinking is something that can be developed by things, just simple things. So like doing something like building a puzzle. Please don't laugh, but it really can help you with that. If you download games on your phone that has to do with riddles or figuring stuff out, and also just when you do look at, I'm not sure what you're studying, but if you look at some of your work at varsity, to not just parrot fashion, but really try to take it in and then try to reason with whatever information you have in front of you. Aisha, was that less than 2 minutes?
It's perfect. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I have
great.
one. I actually want to direct this to C. There is someone studying psychology. Do they have a place in the advisory department at PWC?
Definitely, they do. So we cater for psychology in our Foundation for the Future program. Like Aisha mentioned earlier on, we're opening up that rec in August for 2022.
Cool.
Fantastic. Great. Oh, another question just went away because I think it might have been answered. But I actually took a picture because I need it answered. Right. It says here, and I'm going to ask each and every one of you. Annika, this includes you, RTC, KG, all of you. Ambani wants to know, hi, what makes a candidate stand out to the recruiters? You only have one big thing to say to them. Again, so interest of time, don't want to take up everybody's like 5 hours, because trust me, I can do that. But if you could say, so we'll start with RT, then Annika, then C, then KG. What is it for you, the one thing that makes a candidate stand out?
Okay, I'm going to do it in just one line. Bringing your whole self to the table. So everything about you, your transcripts, what you do outside of work, what you're involved in, what excites you, what your passions are. We want to see all of it at the table.
If I can add on to that,
sure,
if I
go
can
for it,
just
Katie,
add on
go
to
for
that, that it's very important. So Arti did mention academics. Yes, you might be an A student, but if you come to us and you are not able to communicate clearly what your thoughts are, it's very difficult to know what you want, and thus making it difficult for us to understand where you are aligned or where you are aligned to, or what you want, and how we can help you in order to start your career off.
Fantastic.
So good communication skills, I would say, for me, is a tick box.
I
I
think in addition just to that, it's very important. I always like to ask the question that what makes you unique, right? Because that for me is very important, right? Because it also stands out when you are basically explaining to us why you're interested in that job or in that program. But you should be able to communicate effectively what you can do for PWC as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So for me, that stands out.
Yeah,
definitely.
and
cool.
Yeah, if I can just add on, guys, I know we only had 2 minutes, but this is very important. So you know you have applied to the firm or any other company for that matter. Please prepare for an interview. In other words, research the company, and if you can, and you've received an email as to who's going to interview you, go on to LinkedIn, see who's going to interview you. What have they done? What has their journey been like? So that when you come for that interview, it becomes more conversational than anything else. Prepare for your interview and research.
Proper.
100%.
You know, what is, and I just agree with everybody, you know, what is it that you do other than I study, I go home, I study, I go home, I study, I party, I study, I sleep. You know, it's the other things that you do as well. And it's not a, let's call it a requirement necessarily, but a little bit of a slight preference. I think we can, there's one more question that I think we can just very quickly answer, that someone said about why do some of your trainees leave to join clients, and what are the benefits of those CAs that stay? And it's really what we mentioned earlier on about not everybody wants to continue their journey in audit, and it's something that we encourage. So because as a trainee, if it's a big client, you more than likely will stay with that client for the 3 years. Obviously not only that one, it will be one of your clients. You know their company, you know their product, you know their people, you know, you really know the ins and outs of the business, and that company then sees that potential CA as the best financial manager possible for their firm or their company. And then the benefit for the CAs that stay is obviously, again, you know, this particular industry, not just the audit industry, but the professional services industry, is really why we do well is because of the relationships that we have with our clients. And when you stay on, that relationship grows, the quality of the work becomes better, and your reputation just gets greater and greater and greater. So yeah, just to quickly have answered that one. Then I'm going to ask
Sorry, I just wanted to add on to that, that question that you just answered now, because to us as recruiters, does it not make you proud when, you know, our clients actually headhunt the trainees that we have brought on, because it shows the caliber of trainees that we have at PWC are tops. So that is why then
And
they
we're good at
get
our job.
opportunities. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's confirmation.
There we
Yeah.
go. All
Yeah.
right, so KG and C, there are still a few questions in the Q&A before we knock off. And while Arti and I are just wrapping up, would you guys mind just answering some of those questions? Would that be okay?
Very
Fabulous.
much okay.
All
We're
right,
happy to.
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So, guys, very much like this one, I just have to stop Aisha there because you don't know. You guys don't know. Very much like this webinar, we do quite a few of these, and we actually have one coming up. That's next week, and we are actually going to unpack the audit profession. So please do follow us on social media, like us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on Facebook. We always post registration links to these events, and you can just click on that and register for the upcoming webinar. I've also been told that we've got some exciting content from Annika's team that's going live on Instagram as well soon. So that's exciting. But
Yeah.
Stay
now
tuned, guys. Just follow PWC
on
_ ZA on
on
Instagram.
everything, on everything. Guys, unfortunately, we've come to the end of our webinar, and this is my sad face and this is my sad voice. But we do want to extend a massive thank you to everyone that took the time to join us today, and to our organizers, so everyone that helped to make this such a wonderful experience. Thank you very much. And remember, in the words of Annika, you've got this.
Ah, that's amazing. And guys, trust me when I tell you, when she says she's sad, she's not the type that just says it. She really is sad. And I know it's because you're missing the engagement with the students as much as we are as well. But I agree. Definitely a bit of a sad moment. We absolutely love engaging with you guys. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for engaging us on our live polls as well. We really, really appreciate that. And of course, last but most definitely not least, we would like to extend a massive thank you to the panel for giving us their time. So KG, C, Annika, thank you guys very, very much. We know that this is a very, very busy period at PWC at the moment. And we truly appreciate your insights and, you know, for sharing some really valuable information with everybody that has joined us today. So again, thank you guys. Now, from all of us, you guys stay warm, stay safe, importantly, and please remember to wear your masks all the time. All right. Thank you guys so much, and we'll chat soon, hopefully. Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.